As you soften tonight, your heart lets the pain go. Not because you force it, not because you pretend nothing happened, not because you tell yourself to forget what still feels heavy. The heart does not heal through pressure. It heals when it finally feels safe enough to loosen its hold. Tonight, you are not being asked to solve your whole life. You are not being asked to understand every loss, every silence, every disappointment, or every moment that changed you. You are only being invited to stop carrying everything as though you must hold it forever. Night can make hidden feelings feel louder. During the day, there may be work to do, messages to answer, places to go, and people who need something from you. You keep moving. You put your feelings somewhere in the background because life seems to require your attention. But when the room becomes quiet, the heart begins to speak. Old words return. Unanswered questions rise. The mind goes back to what should have happened, what could have been different, and what you wish you had said. The body may be tired, but the thoughts keep moving as though they are still searching for an ending. If this happens to you, it does not mean you are weak. It does not mean you are going backward. It does not mean you have failed to heal. It may only mean that the quiet has made room for what was pushed away during the day. Your heart may be saying, "Please do not ignore me tonight. Please do not rush away from me again. Please sit beside me with love." There are times when the pain does not need another answer. It needs warmth. It needs a softer voice. It needs to know that you are no longer going to fight it, shame it, or tell it that it should have disappeared by now. Pain becomes heavier when it must hide. It becomes tighter when it is treated like an enemy. But when you meet it with kindness, something begins to change. The feeling may still be present, yet it no longer has to scream for your attention. You may have carried sadness so long that it has started to feel like part of your identity. You may have carried disappointment until you no longer remember what it feels like to expect something good. You may have carried regret until every new choice became covered by the fear of making another mistake. You may have carried someone's words inside you until those words began to sound like your own. But pain is not who you are. It is something you have been holding. And what has been held can slowly be put down. Tonight, let the first gentle truth be this: you do not have to carry everything. You do not have to carry every question into sleep. You do not have to carry every person who misunderstood you. You do not have to carry every moment when you were not chosen, not heard, or not treated with care. You do not have to carry the whole future in your mind while your body is asking for rest. You do not have to keep proving that the pain was real by feeling it every night. Sometimes the heart believes that if it stops hurting, then what happened will no longer matter. It may believe that letting go means forgetting. It may believe that peace would somehow excuse what caused the wound. But peace does not erase the truth. Rest does not erase the truth. Healing does not say that the pain was unimportant. Healing says that your life is important too. You are allowed to care about what happened and still choose not to suffer through it again tonight. You are allowed to remember without reopening every wound. You are allowed to say, "That mattered, that changed me, and now I am ready to treat my heart with more tenderness." Perhaps you have been trying to understand why something happened. You keep turning it over in your mind, hoping that if you examine it enough, you will finally feel free. But some pain does not release through more thinking. Some pain releases when the heart realizes it no longer needs to keep watch. It no longer needs to stand at the old door waiting for an explanation. It no longer needs to replay the same moment to make sure it never happens again. The mind often repeats the past because it wants to protect you. It believes that if it studies every detail, it can prevent future pain. It believes that if it stays alert, you will never be surprised again. So it keeps the old conversation alive. It remembers the tone of the words. It remembers what was missing. It remembers how the body felt. It tries to build safety by never relaxing. But constant watchfulness is not safety. It is exhaustion. Real safety begins when you can tell yourself, "That moment is not happening now. I am here. I am with myself. I do not have to go back there tonight." Let those words become gentle, not forced. You do not need to shout them over the pain. You do not need to make the pain disappear. You can simply let the present moment become a little stronger than the memory. The bed beneath you is here now. The room around you is here now. Your breath is here now. Your own loving presence is here now. You may notice that part of you still wants to hold on tightly. That is understandable. The heart may have learned that holding on was the only way to stay connected, stay prepared, or stay protected. Do not pull the pain away from yourself like something shameful. Speak to the part that is holding it. You might say, "I know why you are afraid to let this go. You have been trying to protect me. You have been trying to make sure I never feel that helpless again. Thank you for staying with me. But you do not have to work so hard tonight." There is great healing in being understood by your own voice. So much pain deepens because you feel alone inside it. You may have been surrounded by people and still felt that no one truly understood what you were carrying. You may have tried to explain only to feel dismissed. You may have remained silent because the words felt too difficult. And slowly you may have begun to believe that you had to hold everything by yourself. But tonight, you can become the presence you needed. You can say, "I believe my pain. I believe what my heart felt. I do not need to argue with myself anymore." When you stop arguing with your own feelings, the inner struggle begins to soften. The sadness no longer has to prove that it belongs. The anger no longer has to grow louder to be noticed. The fear no longer has to control every thought. You are not giving the pain power. You are giving it permission to move. Feelings that are allowed can change. Feelings that are constantly pushed away often return with more force. The heart does not want to punish you. It wants to complete something. It wants to feel what it could not safely feel before. It wants to be met instead of managed. You may feel tears near the surface. Let that be natural. Tears are not a sign that the night has become worse. They may be a sign that the heart no longer needs to stay hard. You may not cry at all. That is also natural. Softening does not always look like tears. It may look like a deeper breath. It may feel like the shoulders dropping slightly. It may feel like the mind losing interest in the old argument. It may be the quiet thought, I am tired of carrying this. That thought is not defeat. It is readiness. You have carried enough. You have thought enough. You have tried to fix enough. Tonight, you do not need to earn rest by finding every answer first. Rest is not a reward given only when life is complete. Rest is part of healing. It is how the heart remembers that pain is not the only thing it can feel. There may still be unfinished parts of your life. There may be words you never received. There may be closure that did not come in the form you wanted. There may be changes you are still learning to accept. Yet your heart can begin to rest even without a perfect ending. You can give yourself a different ending for tonight. Not an ending to the whole story, but an ending to the struggle of this day. You can say, for tonight I stop searching. For tonight I stop blaming. For tonight I stop asking my heart to be stronger than it needs to be. For tonight I allow myself to be held by rest. Let the night become a place where nothing has to be proved. You do not have to prove that you were right. You do not have to prove that you were hurt. You do not have to prove that you deserve care. You do not have to prove that you are healing correctly. You can simply be human. You can be tired. You can be tender. You can be unfinished and still worthy of peace. My dear, you are not failing because some pain remains. Healing is not measured by never remembering. It is measured by how lovingly you meet yourself when the memory returns. The old version of you may have attacked the feeling. The healing version begins to sit beside it. The old version may have said, why am I still like this? The healing version says, of course this still feels tender. I will be gentle here. That is the new relationship you are building with your own heart. You are no longer treating your pain like a problem that makes you unworthy. You are beginning to treat it like a tired part of you that needs rest. You are no longer demanding that the heart move faster. You are letting it feel safe enough to move in its own time. Tonight, I no longer have to carry everything. Let that sentence stay near you. Do not turn it into another task. Do not try to force yourself to believe it perfectly. Let it rest inside you like a warm hand. Tonight, I no longer have to carry every word. Tonight, I no longer have to carry every fear. Tonight, I no longer have to carry every mistake. Tonight, I no longer have to carry every person who chose not to stay. Tonight, I no longer have to carry every future problem before it arrives. Tonight, I am allowed to be supported. The heart may ask, but who will hold everything if I put it down? And the loving voice within you can answer, life does not require me to hold the whole world together while I sleep. What belongs to tomorrow can wait for tomorrow. What belongs to the past can remain in the past. What belongs to me now is this moment of rest. You may have lived for a long time believing that being strong meant never softening. You may have thought that if you stopped holding everything together, your life would fall apart. But true strength is not endless tension. True strength also knows when to rest. It knows when to open the hand. It knows when to say, I have done enough for today. A closed hand cannot receive comfort. A guarded heart cannot feel the support that is already near. Softening does not make you careless. It makes room for life to touch you again. Perhaps peace has been trying to reach you, but your heart has been too busy watching the old wound. Perhaps love has been present in small ways, but pain has been louder. Perhaps the night has been of fearing quiet, but the mind has filled it with old noise. There is no blame in this. You did what you knew to do. You protected yourself with the tools you had, and now you are learning another way. The new way is not to force silence. It is to choose a kinder sound. The new way is not to erase the memory. It is to stop giving the memory every part of the night. The new way is not to pretend you are free. It is to become willing to loosen what has been held too tightly. You may say, I am willing to carry less tonight. That may feel more honest than saying you have released everything. Willingness is enough to begin. A small opening is still an opening. The heart does not need a dramatic promise. It needs a believable message of safety. I am willing to carry less tonight. I am willing to stop fighting my feelings. I am willing to let rest reach the places that have been working too hard. I am willing to believe that pain can leave without taking my wisdom with it. I am willing to wake with a little more space inside me. Let the old pressure begin to loosen. You do not have to know how healing will happen. The heart already knows how to move when it feels safe. A wound does not need to be told every step of healing. It needs the right conditions. It needs care, time, truth, and rest. Tonight, you are creating those conditions. You are not chasing peace. You are becoming less defended against it. You are not forcing the heart to open. You are showing it that opening is safe. You are not telling the pain that it never mattered. You are telling yourself that your future matters too. And as this truth settles, you may begin to understand something very important. The pain did not become heavy because there was something wrong with you. It became heavy because you had to hold too much for too long, often without the comfort understanding, or safety you needed. Pain changes when it is carried alone. A feeling that may have moved through the heart becomes something the whole body begins to protect. You may have learned to keep smiling while something inside you was breaking. You may have continued taking care of responsibilities while your own heart waited quietly for attention. You may have told yourself that other people had bigger problems, that you should be grateful, that you should move on, or that you should not feel so deeply. But pain does not disappear because you compare it. The heart does not stop hurting because you tell it that it should not. When a feeling is not given a safe place to move, it often settles deeper. You may have been strong because you had no other choice. You may have kept going because stopping did not feel possible. You may have answered questions, completed tasks, cared for others, and acted as though everything was normal. You may even have convinced yourself that you were fine, yet the body remembered the truth. The heart remembered the moment when something changed. The mind remembered the words, the silence, distance, the ending, or the shock. There is no shame in the fact that you survived by becoming busy, quiet, distant, or emotionally guarded. Those responses may have helped you move through something you were not ready to feel fully. But what protects you during one season can become heavy when you carry it into every season that follows. Perhaps you learned not to expect too much because hope once ended in pain. Perhaps you stopped asking for what you needed because your needs were treated like a problem. Perhaps you became very independent because depending on someone did not feel safe. Perhaps you began to leave emotionally before anyone had the chance to leave you. Perhaps you became the calm one, the helpful one, or the strong one, while the tender part of you had nowhere to go. My dear, the pain was never asking you to become harder. It was asking to be held. If no one held it with you, it makes sense that it became heavy. This is why certain feelings may seem larger at night. You are not only feeling what happened, you may also be feeling the loneliness of having carried it without enough support. You may be feeling the sadness of not being understood. You may be feeling anger because you had to continue as though nothing had changed. You may be feeling tired because part of you has been standing guard for a very long time. Sometimes the deepest wound is not only what happened, it is that you had to comfort yourself while it was happening. It is that you had to pretend you were not affected. It is that you needed gentleness and received pressure. It is that you needed someone to say, "This is hard and you do not have to carry it alone." But those words never came. Tonight, you can begin giving those words to yourself. This was hard. I did not deserve to carry it alone. My feelings make sense. I am allowed to need comfort. I am allowed to stop pretending. The heart often begins to release when it no longer has to defend the truth of its pain. You do not need to explain it perfectly. You do not need to make anyone understand. You do not need to gather proof. Your own understanding matters. Your own compassion becomes the safe place where healing begins. Pain becomes heavier when you are ashamed of feeling it. You may say, "Why am I still affected?" You may believe that enough time has passed, so you should no longer feel anything. You may become impatient with yourself. You may look at your life and think, "I should be stronger by now." But time alone does not heal what continues to be treated with cruelty. The heart does not measure time the way the mind does. It measures safety. It asks, "Can I feel this without being judged? Can I remember without being attacked? Can I become soft without being hurt again?" When the answer begins to become yes, healing starts moving. There are two layers of pain that may be present. The first is the original hurt. The second is everything you say to yourself about having that hurt. The original pain may say, "I felt rejected." The added pain says, "There must be something wrong with me." The original pain may say, "I lost something important." The added pain says, "I will never be happy again." The original pain may say, "I made a choice I regret." The added pain says, "I ruin everything." The original pain may say, "I was not treated with care." The added pain says, "I was foolish for expecting love." The first pain needs comfort. The second pain is created by the story you repeat around the wound. Tonight, you can stop creating the second wound. You can feel sadness without calling yourself weak. You can feel anger without calling yourself bad. You can feel regret without deciding that you are beyond forgiveness. You can feel fear without believing the future is already ruined. You can feel lonely without deciding that you will always be alone. The feeling is not the whole truth of your life. It is what is moving through you now. My pain is asking for love, not punishment. Let that truth replace the old habit of attacking yourself. The heart cannot feel safe while your own voice is telling it that it should not feel. The heart needs you to become less like the pressure that hurt it and more like the kindness it was waiting for. You may have learned that love was given only when you were calm, useful, successful, agreeable, or easy to understand. So when your feelings became messy, you may have withdrawn love from yourself. You may have thought, "I will love myself again when I am better." But the hurting part of you needs love now, not after it has stopped hurting. You would not ask a tired child to become cheerful before offering comfort. You would not tell a frightened heart to stop shaking before giving it safety. You would come closer. You would soften your voice. You would say, "I am here." This is how you can speak to yourself tonight. I am here with the part of me that feels sad. I am here with the part of me that feels angry. I am here with the part of me that still does not understand. I am here with the part of me that wanted a different ending. I am here, and I am not turning away. There is healing in staying. Perhaps you have spent years running from certain feelings. You may distract yourself, overthink, work too much, eat without hunger, keep checking for a message, return to old memories, or fill every quiet moment with noise. These habits are not proof that you are broken. They may only be attempts to avoid the pain of being alone with what you feel. Do not shame the habit. Understand the need beneath it. When you keep checking, perhaps you are looking for reassurance. When you keep replaying, perhaps you are looking for control. When you keep reaching toward the past, perhaps you are looking for connection. When you stay busy, perhaps you are afraid that stopping will let the sadness rise. When you criticize yourself, perhaps you believe harshness will protect you from repeating the same pain. Every habit is trying to do something for you. But it may be using an old method that no longer brings peace. You can thank the old method without continuing it. You can say, I understand why I kept checking. I wanted to feel chosen. But tonight, I choose to stay with myself. You can say, I understand why I kept replaying the conversation. I wanted an answer. But tonight, I no longer need to search inside the same words. You can say, I understand why I stayed busy. I was afraid to feel. But tonight, I can feel gently and remain safe. This is compassion. Compassion does not mean you approve of every habit. It means you stop using shame as the tool for change. Shame makes the heart hide. Love makes the heart honest. When you become honest, you may notice how tired you really are. Not only physically tired, but tired of being the strong one, tired of acting unbothered, tired of carrying conversations that ended long ago, tired of imagining what might happen, tired of trying to earn what should have been given freely, tired of blaming yourself for not being able to change the past. You are allowed to admit that you are tired. You do not have to turn that admission into despair. Tiredness may be the first honest sign that you are ready to live differently. Something in you may be saying, I cannot keep carrying pain in this way. Listen to that voice. It is not giving up. It is asking for healing. There may be pain connected to being misunderstood. You may know what your heart meant, but someone saw you differently. You may have tried to explain yourself, yet the explanation did not bring closeness. You may still be holding the wish that the past could see you clearly. But your peace cannot remain dependent on being understood by someone who is not present in this moment. You can understand yourself now. You can know your intention. You can learn from what happened without continuing to place your worth in another person's view. You may say, I release the need to be understood by the past. I choose to understand my own heart with love. There may be pain connected to not receiving an apology. The mind may believe that healing cannot begin until the words arrive. It may wait for someone to admit what happened, to show regret, or to finally recognize the effect of their actions. An honest apology can be meaningful, but your freedom cannot be locked forever inside another person's silence. You can honor the fact that the apology was needed. You can acknowledge that the silence hurt, and you can still begin giving your heart what it was waiting for. You can say, what happened mattered. My pain mattered. I deserved care. I deserved honesty. I deserved respect. These words do not change the past, but they stop the past from being the only voice. There may also be pain connected to your own choices. Perhaps you keep asking why you stayed, why you trusted, why you ignored what you felt, or why you returned to something that had already hurt you. The mind uses new understanding to judge the older version of you, it fool. It forgets that you did not know then what you know now. You may have stayed because you hoped. You may have trusted because you wanted to believe in love. You may have ignored the truth because accepting it felt too painful. You may have returned because the familiar felt safer than the unknown. You may have remained quiet because speaking did not feel safe. You were trying to meet your needs with the understanding you had at the time. This does not mean every choice was helpful. It means you can learn without hatred. You can grow without making the old version of you an enemy. The heart becomes lighter when it no longer has to defend itself against your judgment. My pain is asking for love, not punishment. Repeat this truth inside your own tone. Let it become personal. My sadness is asking for love. My anger is asking to be heard. My fear is asking for safety. My regret is asking for forgiveness. My loneliness is asking for presence. My tiredness is asking for rest. When you give the feeling what it needs, it does not have to keep asking in louder ways. Pain is not always asking to be removed. Sometimes it is asking to be witnessed. Once it feels witnessed, it often begins to move by itself. The grip becomes softer. The mind becomes quieter. The body realizes it no longer has to hold every feeling in tension. You may still have moments when the pain returns. Healing is not a straight road. A memory may rise unexpectedly. A place, a song, a date, or a quiet evening may bring old feelings close again. This does not mean you are back at the beginning. It means another layer is ready to be met. Do not say, I thought I was over this. Say, a tender place has returned, and I know how to meet it more lovingly now. That is progress. The memory may be the same, but you are not meeting it with the same cruelty. You are becoming safer for yourself. There is a difference between remembering pain and living inside it. Remembering says, this happened. Living inside it says, this is still happening and it will always define me. Tonight, let the present become clearer. The room is quiet now. The old moment is not happening now. The words are not being spoken now. The door is not closing now. The loss is not occurring again now. You are here now with more awareness, more choice, and more love than you had before. You are not the helpless version of yourself that the memory keeps showing you. You are the person who can now offer comfort to that version. You can say, "You do not have to keep standing there. Come with me. We are safe enough to leave that moment." Let the heart hear you. Perhaps it has been waiting for you to return. The pain became heavy because you had to hold it alone. But you are not leaving yourself alone with it tonight. You are bringing warmth into the quiet. You are bringing understanding into the place where there was judgment. You are bringing companionship into the place where there was abandonment. This does not remove every feeling immediately. It changes the way the feeling is carried. A heavy box feels different when someone helps you hold it. A long road feels different when you are not walking against yourself. A dark room feels different when there is even a small light. Your loving awareness is that light. You do not need to make the light brighter through effort. Simply keep returning. Each time the mind begins to attack, return to kindness. Each time the heart becomes afraid, return to presence. Each time the old story says you are alone, answer with the truth, "I am here." And as you remain present, you may notice that the pain is not only in the thoughts. It has been living in the body too. The shoulders may have been carrying what the heart could not say. The jaw may have been holding back words. The chest may have built a wall around tenderness. The stomach may have tightened around fear. The body may still be preparing for something that ended long ago. The heart begins to release more deeply when the body understands that it no longer has to stay in the old struggle. Your body has been listening to every thought. It has felt every fear, every moment of waiting, every time you expected something painful to happen again. It has carried more than you may realize. Even when you said nothing, the body heard the silence. Even when you smiled, the body felt what was beneath the smile. Even when you continued with your day, the body remembered what the heart was trying not to feel. The body does not speak in long explanations. It speaks through tightness, tiredness, heaviness, restlessness, shallow breathing, a racing heart, a closed stomach, a tense jaw, or shoulders that never seem to fully drop. These signals are not the body fighting you. They may be the body asking, "Are we safe yet?" Tonight, you can begin answering, "Yes, dear body, we are safe enough to rest." You do not need to force the body to believe you. Trust is built through tone, care, and repeated experience. The body may have heard many words before. It may have heard promises that were not kept. It may have felt pressure when it needed rest. It may have been criticized when it needed support. So speak slowly inside yourself. Let your care become something the body can feel. The bed beneath you is holding your weight. You do not have to hold yourself above it. You do not have to remain ready to rise, explain, fix, or protect. Let the surface beneath you do some of the work. Let the back be supported. Let the legs rest. Let the hands become quiet. You are not performing relaxation. You are allowing the body to stop performing strength. There is a difference. You do not have to make every muscle soft at the same time. You do not have to search through the whole body for tension. Simply notice where effort is no longer needed. Perhaps the forehead has been holding thoughts. Let it become less busy. Perhaps the eyes have been working even while closed. Let them rest behind the eyelids. Perhaps the jaw has been holding the words you never said. Let the teeth separate gently. Perhaps the throat has been guarding tears. Let it know that nothing needs to be explained tonight. Perhaps the chest has been standing like a shield. Let it receive the breath without demand. Perhaps the stomach has been preparing for bad news. Let it hear that no new danger is arriving in this moment. Perhaps the hands have been gripping what cannot be controlled. Let the fingers become open. Your body is not a machine that must obey. It is a living home that responds to how it is treated. For a long time, you may have spoken to the body mainly when something felt wrong. You may have asked, "Why are you doing this? Why can't you calm down? Why am I so tired? Why can't I sleep?" These questions often carry fear, even when you are searching for relief. Tonight, change the relationship. Ask, "What are you trying to tell me, dear body?" The answer may not come in words. It may come as the desire to rest. It may come as a feeling that you need more kindness. It may come as tears. It may come as the wish to stop thinking for a while. It may come as a quiet sense that you have been asking too much of yourself. Listen without turning the answer into another problem. If the body says, "I am tired," you do not need to argue. You can answer, "I understand." If the body says, "I am afraid," you can answer, "I am here." If the body says, "I have been holding too much," you can answer, "You can release some of it now." This is how trust begins. Dear body, the struggle is over for tonight. Let that sentence move through you as a message, not an order. The struggle to understand everything is over for tonight. The struggle to be accepted is over for tonight. The struggle to prove your worth is over for tonight. The struggle to hold the past together is over for tonight. The struggle to prepare for every possible future is over for tonight. The struggle to act as though you are not tired is over for tonight. Your body may not soften immediately. That is all right. It may have been trained to remain alert. It may believe that if it relaxes, something will go wrong. Do not become frustrated. Frustration is another form of pressure. Stay kind. You can say, "You do not have to relax perfectly. You only need to know that I am not going to attack you." Perhaps this is the first safety the body needs. The nervous system does not only respond to outer events, it responds to your inner voice. If the inner voice is harsh, demanding, and afraid, the body may continue preparing for danger. If the inner voice becomes warm and steady, the body begins receiving a different message. Your voice can become part of your healing. You may speak inwardly. I am not angry with you for being tired. I am not ashamed of you for feeling deeply. I am not disappointed in you for needing rest. You have carried me through every day. Tonight, I carry you with love. Let the heart and body become partners instead of enemies. Pain often creates a split inside you. The mind wants the feeling to disappear while the body is still trying to process it. The mind says, move on. The body says, I am not ready. The mind says, stop thinking about it. The body says, I still do not feel safe. Healing begins when the mind stops shouting and starts listening. You do not have to agree with every fearful thought. You only need to understand that the body is trying to protect you. It may still be reacting to an old lesson. It may have learned that closeness is dangerous, that silence means rejection, that mistakes lead to punishment, or that rest is unsafe because something may be missed. These lessons were learned through experience. They can also be unlearned through experience. Each peaceful night teaches the body something new. Each time you remain with yourself instead of abandoning yourself, the body learns something new. Each time a feeling rises and you respond with kindness, the body learns something new. Each time you rest without disaster following, the body learns something new. The new lesson is simple. Softness is safe now. You may have believed that tension was the only thing keeping your life together, but tension is not the same as care. Worry is not the same as preparation. Fear is not the same as responsibility. You can care for your life without making the body live in constant alarm. You can meet tomorrow when tomorrow arrives. Tonight belongs to rest. Let the breath move in the way it wants to move. You do not need to control its length. You do not need to make it deeper. Simply notice that life continues to breathe through you. The breath enters. The breath leaves. The body already knows this rhythm. Each gentle breath can tell the body nothing is being demanded of you in this moment. The mind may wander back to the old pain. That is natural. When it does, you do not need to follow the whole story. You can notice the thought and return to the body. The thought may say, what if this never changes? Let the body hear, in this moment, I am supported. The thought may say, why did this happen? Let the body hear, I do not have to solve it tonight. The thought may say, what if I am hurt again? Let the body hear, I will listen to myself. I will not abandon my own truth. The thought may say, I should have known better. Let the body hear, I am learning now and I am safe to forgive myself. You are giving the body a new place to return. Perhaps the chest feels heavy. Do not imagine that you must remove the heaviness. Meet it. You can place your awareness there with tenderness. You might say, dear heart, You have protected this pain for a long time. You do not have to release it all. You may loosen your hold. The word may carries permission. The heart does not respond well to force. Permission gives it choice. Choice creates safety. You may loosen your hold. You may rest without understanding. You may feel without drowning. You may remember without returning. You may become softer without losing your strength. You may let this night support you. If the throat feels tight, perhaps there are words that never found a safe place. You do not have to say them aloud. You do not have to rebuild the old conversation. Let the throat know that silence no longer means you have no voice. You can say, I know what I felt. I know what I needed. My truth does not disappear because it was not heard. Perhaps this allows the throat to become less guarded. If the jaw is tight, it may be holding anger, control, or words that were pushed down. Let it know that it does not have to keep the whole story locked inside. You can say, I am allowed to have felt angry. I am allowed to have wanted more. I am allowed to stop holding the argument in my body. If the shoulders feel heavy, they may be carrying duties, expectations, and emotions that did not belong only to you. Perhaps you have carried other people's moods. Perhaps you have felt responsible for keeping peace. Perhaps you have taken blame because it seemed easier than conflict. Tonight, return what is not yours. You do not need to name every burden. You can simply say, I release the weight I was never meant to carry. Let the shoulders hear you. If the stomach feels closed, it may be holding fear about what comes next. It may be trying to prepare for an uncertain future. Speak to it gently. The future is not happening tonight. We are here. We can meet the next step when it comes. The body needs simple truth more than grand promises. You do not need to say that nothing difficult will ever happen. The body may not believe that. You can say something more honest. Whatever comes, I will stay with myself. I will listen. I will choose with more love. I will not leave myself alone. That is real safety. Safety is not knowing that life will always be easy. Safety is knowing that you will not become your own enemy when life is hard. You are learning to become a safe place for your own feelings. You are learning to remain present when sadness comes. You are learning not to frighten yourself with every thought. You are learning to care for the body instead of blaming it for reacting. This is deep healing, even when it looks quiet. No one else may see the moment when your jaw becomes softer. No one may know that you stopped replaying the old words. No one may notice that you chose not to send the message, check again, or reopen what was already closing. But your body notices. The subconscious notices. Your heart notices. Each loving choice says, We are not living the old way tonight. Perhaps the old way was to stay awake and review every mistake. The new way is to say, I have learned enough for today. Perhaps the old way was to imagine everything that could go wrong. The new way is to say, I will meet life when it arrives. Perhaps the old way was to blame the body for being restless. The new way is to say, you have been protecting me. Now you can rest. Perhaps the old way was to force sleep. The new way is to allow rest to come without pressure. Sleep does not respond to force. The more you demand it, the more the body may feel watched. Let rest be enough. Even if the mind is still settling, you can rest. Even if the heart is still tender, you can be supported. Even if sleep takes time, you can stop fighting. The struggle is over for tonight. You do not have to make anything happen. You are safe enough to soften now. Let that safety be imperfect. Let it be gentle. Let it grow slowly. You may feel a small wave of emotion when the body begins to relax. Sometimes feelings rise when tension falls because the body finally has room to release them. Do not be afraid of this. You are not becoming worse. You may be becoming available to what needs to move. If sadness comes, let it know it does not have to stay forever. If anger comes, let it know it has been heard. If fear comes, let it feel your presence. If tiredness comes, let it rest without guilt. They wait. They settle quietly into the body. They hide beneath tiredness. They return through overthinking. They rise in the night when the room becomes still and nothing is left to distract you. Tonight, you do not have to run from them. You are allowed to feel what you could not feel before. You do not need to feel everything at once. You do not need to open every old door. You do not need to return to every detail. You are only allowing the heart to show you what it has been carrying. Perhaps sadness is near. Sadness may come from what ended. It may come from what never began. It may come from the way you were treated. It may come from the love you gave without receiving the same care. It may come from losing a dream, a sense of safety, a part of yourself, or the future you thought you were building. Sadness is not weakness. Sadness is the heart telling the truth about what mattered. You do not have to hurry it away. You do not have to make yourself cheerful. You do not have to explain why you still feel it. Let the sadness be honest without letting it become the whole truth of who you are. You can say, I feel this sadness and I am still here. That sentence creates space. It does not deny the feeling. It does not let the feeling define your whole life. It reminds the heart that pain can be present without becoming permanent. If tears come, let them be part of the release. They do not mean you are falling apart. They may mean you are no longer forcing yourself to stay hard. The body may have held those tears because it did not feel safe enough to let them move. Tonight, the message is different. Tonight, you are listening. Tonight, you are not turning against yourself. You may whisper, you do not have to hide this from me. There may also be anger inside you. Anger is often judged quickly. You may have learned to fear it, Pikai, hush it down, or feel ashamed of it. But anger may be the part of you that knows a boundary was crossed. It may be the part that knows you deserved better. It may be the energy that wanted to protect you when you did not yet know how to protect yourself. You do not need to become afraid of your anger. You can listen to what it is saying. Perhaps it says, that hurt. Perhaps it says, I was not respected. Perhaps it says, I stayed quiet when I wanted to speak. Perhaps it says, I gave too much of myself. Perhaps it says, I do not want to live that way anymore. Anger does not have to become cruelty. It does not have to become revenge. It can become clear truth. It can help you understand what needs to change. It can show you where your heart needs a boundary. It can remind you that your feelings matter. It can lead you back to self-respect. You can say, my anger is allowed to speak, but it does not have to control me. Let the anger become information instead of a prison. You can hear it without feeding it with the same old thoughts all night. You can honor its message without letting it keep your body in battle. Perhaps the message is simple. I will no longer ignore what hurts me. I will no longer call pain love. I will no longer abandon myself to keep peace. I am allowed to protect my heart. These are not words of hate. They are words of return. You are returning to yourself. There may be loneliness too. Loneliness is not always about being physically alone. You can feel lonely while your life is full of noise. You can feel lonely when your heart does not feel seen. You can feel lonely when you've been giving so much of yourself but do not feel met in the same way. Loneliness can become very loud at night. It may tell you that no one understands. It may tell you that you have been forgotten. It may make the room feel colder. It may make old memories look warmer than they truly were. When loneliness rises, do not leave yourself. This is the moment when your own presence matters most. You can say, I am here with you. Speak as though you are talking to the most tender part of your heart. I know this feels empty. I know you wanted more. I know you are tired of feeling alone. I am not leaving you tonight. This does not replace the love you wish to receive. It does not mean you should never need support. It means you are no longer adding self-abandonment to loneliness. You are becoming someone your own heart can trust. That trust may begin very quietly. It may begin when you stop checking for attention that leaves you feeling smaller. It may begin when you stop reaching back toward what has already shown you that it cannot meet your needs. It may begin when you let the night be quiet without using the silence as proof that you are unloved. Silence is not proof that you are unloved. This moment is not a final answer about your future. Loneliness is a feeling. It is not your destiny. You can feel it and still believe that love, it can enter your life in new ways. You can feel it and still become more loving toward yourself. You can feel it and still know that this heart was not created only to ache. There may also be regret. Regret can pull the mind into endless questions. Why did I say that? Why did I stay so long? Why did I not listen to myself? Why did I trust? Why did I return? Why did I wait? Why did I allow that moment to pass? These questions may feel like they are searching for wisdom, but they can easily become punishment. You do not need to punish yourself in order to learn. You can look back with honesty without using the past as a weapon. The version of you who made those choices did not know everything you know now. That version may have been afraid. That version may have been hopeful. That version may have been trying to survive. That version may have believed that patience would change everything. That version may not have known how to set a boundary. That version may have wanted love so deeply that warning signs were difficult to accept. You can understand that version without agreeing with every choice. You can say, I see why I did what I did. That is not an excuse. It is compassion. Compassion creates the space where real change becomes possible. Shame says, you are the problem. Compassion says, you were trying to meet a need in the only way you understood. Shame freezes you in the past. Compassion helps you learn and move. Tonight, let regret become guidance. Instead of saying, I should have known, say, now I know. Instead of saying, I wasted my time, say, I understand my needs more clearly now. Instead of saying, I ruined everything, say, I am still able to choose again. Instead of saying, I cannot trust myself, say, I am learning to listen to myself more deeply. The past cannot be changed, but the meaning you carry from it can change. You do not have to carry regret as proof that you care. You can carry wisdom instead. There may be fear inside you too. Fear may rise when the heart begins to soften because the heart remembers what happened the last time it opened. It may say, do not trust again. It may say, stay guarded. It may say, if you relax, you will be hurt. It may say, if you let go of this pain, you will forget how to protect yourself. Do not argue with the fear. Fear does not need to be defeated. It needs to be understood. You can say, I know why you are here. I know you are trying to protect me. I know you remember what happened. But I am not without choice now. I am learning to notice what is safe and what is not. I am learning to trust myself. I do not have to live in constant fear to be protected. This is how fear begins to soften. You are not promising that life will never surprise you again. You are promising that you will stay awake to your own truth. You are promising that you will not silence your needs. You are promising that you will not leave yourself alone when something feels wrong. Fear becomes less powerful when it trusts you. It begins to understand that you are no longer the same person who ignored every signal. You are listening now. You are becoming more honest. You are learning to pause before giving your heart away. You are learning that love should not require you to disappear. You are allowed to feel fear without letting fear choose your whole future. You may say, fear can sit beside me, but it does not lead me. There may be numbness. Sometimes the heart does not cry. Sometimes it feels nothing. You may wonder why you cannot connect with your feelings. You may feel far away from yourself. You may feel empty, quiet, or disconnected. Numbness is not proof that you do not care. It may be the body's way of protecting you from too much feeling at once. Do not force the numbness to leave. You can meet it with the same kindness. You can say, you became quiet because it was too much. I understand. The heart may need time before it trusts the feeling process. It may open slowly. It may release in small pieces. One memory today, one tear another night. One truth when you are ready. There is no correct speed. Healing is not a race. Your heart does not have to perform pain in order for the pain to be real. If you feel deeply, you are healing. If you feel very little, you may also be healing. The important thing is that you are not attacking yourself for where you are. The feelings that were once pushed away need a new experience. They need to rise and discover that they will be met with care. Sadness rises and hears. You are allowed. Anger rises and hears. Your truth matters. Loneliness rises and hears. I am staying. Regret rises and hears. You are forgiven. Fear rises and hears. I will protect you with wisdom, not panic. Numbness rises and hears. You may open when you are ready. This is what emotional safety feels like. You are not trying to control every feeling. You are creating a safe place for feelings to move. A feeling is like a wave. When you fight the wave, the whole body becomes tired. When you allow the wave to move, it rises, changes, and begins to fall. You are not the wave. You are the space that holds it. You may feel sadness moving through your chest, but you are more than sadness. You may feel fear moving through your stomach, but you are more than fear. You may feel anger moving through your hands, but you are more than anger. You may feel regret moving through your thoughts, but you are more than regret. The feeling is real, but it is not your full identity. I allow my feelings to move through me without becoming my identity. Let those words become a gentle truth. I can feel without being lost. I can remember without returning. I can cry without breaking. I can be angry without becoming cruel. I can be afraid without surrendering my future. I can feel lonely without believing I will always be alone. I can regret without hating myself. You may have spent a long time believing that feelings were dangerous. Perhaps you were taught to stay quiet, be strong, stop crying, or move on quickly. Perhaps your pain made others uncomfortable, so you learned to hide it. Perhaps you began to believe that having needs would push love away. Tonight, you do not have to follow that old lesson. Your feelings do not make you too much. Your sadness is not a burden. Your need for care is not a weakness. Your tender heart is not something you need to hide. You are allowed to have an inner life. You are allowed to be affected by what happened. You are allowed to heal in a way that is honest. There may be one feeling beneath all the others. Perhaps beneath the anger is sadness. Perhaps beneath the sadness is the wish to be loved. Perhaps beneath the loneliness is the fear of being forgotten. Perhaps beneath the regret is the wish to feel safe with your own choices. Perhaps beneath the fear is a heart that wants to open again, but does not know if it can. You do not need to search too hard for the deepest feeling. Let it reveal itself in its own time. The heart opens more easily when it is not being examined like a problem. You can simply ask, "What do I need right now?" Not, "What is wrong with me?" Not, "Why am I not healed?" Not, "How do I stop feeling this?" Ask, "What do I need?" Maybe you need rest. Maybe you need truth. Maybe you need to cry. Maybe you need to forgive yourself. Maybe you need to stop waiting for an answer. Maybe you need to accept that a chapter is over. Maybe you need to believe that life can still bring something new. Listen gently. The answer may be small. It may be, "I need to stop blaming myself." It may be, "I need to admit that this hurt." It may be, "I need to let the past be complete." It may be, "I need to stop asking the same closed door to open." It may be, "I need to trust that peace is not betrayal." Let the answer come without pressure. You may not know exactly what you need. That is all right. Your willingness to listen already changes the relationship. For a long time, the heart may have felt ignored. Now it hears you asking. For a long time, the pain may have been met with resistance. Now it is met with warmth. For a long time, the feelings may have had to shout. Now they can speak more softly. You are allowed to feel what you could not feel before. You are allowed to feel the loss without making it your forever home. You are allowed to feel disappointment without losing faith in every new beginning. You are allowed to feel grief without believing joy has left your life forever. You are allowed to feel anger without becoming tied to what hurt you. You are allowed to feel love for what was and still choose to let it go. That last truth may be difficult. Sometimes the heart believes that love means holding on. It believes that if something mattered, the pain must remain. It believes that if you release the hurt, you are saying the connection, the dream, or the hope was not real. But pain is not the only proof that something mattered. You do not have to keep suffering to show that your heart was sincere. You do not have to remain wounded to honor what you felt. You do not have to carry the pain forever to prove that the past had meaning. The heart can remember and still become free. Letting go can feel frightening when you have carried something for a long time. The pain may have become so familiar that you no longer know who you are without it. It may be connected to love, hope, loss, or the life you once imagined. You may believe that releasing the pain means releasing every part of what mattered. But letting go does not erase what mattered. It does not erase your love. It does not erase your effort. It does not erase the hopes you carried. It does not erase the truth of what you felt. It does not erase the lessons you learned. It does not erase the strength it took to survive. Letting go only means you are no longer willing to keep the wound open. The heart can keep the meaning without keeping the pain. Think of how tightly you may have been holding the past, not with your hands, but with your thoughts, your body, your questions, and your repeated memories. You may have believed that if you loosened your hold, everything would disappear. So you kept returning to the same words. You kept remembering the same moments. You kept asking how it could have ended differently. You kept imagining the future that never arrived. The mind held on because it feared the emptiness that might come after release. But emptiness is not always loss. Sometimes emptiness is space. It is the place where the old pain has left, but the new peace has not fully entered yet. It may feel unfamiliar. It may feel quiet. It may even feel lonely for a little while. But that space is not punishment. It is the beginning of freedom. You do not need to fill it immediately. You can let the space be open. The heart has been crowded with memories, old conversations, fear, blame, and longing. It may need time to remember what quiet feels like. You can say, I am not empty. I am becoming open. Open to rest. Open to new thought. Open to a different way of loving. Open to a life that does not require you to keep returning to the same pain. There may be a part of you that says, but I do not want to forget. You do not have to forget. Healing is not memory loss. You can remember without hurting in the same way. You can think of what happened without your whole body closing. You can remember a season without living inside it. You can honor a connection without asking it to return. You can accept that something mattered while also accepting that it may no longer belong in your present life. This is a deep form of love. It is love that does not need to possess. It is love that does not demand that pain remain. It is love that blesses what was and still chooses peace. You may have kept the pain because it felt like the final connection to what was lost. Perhaps the sadness was the only way you still felt close to a dream. Perhaps the regret was the only way you kept the old moment alive. Perhaps the anger was the only thing that made you feel protected. If the pain leaves, you may wonder what remains. You remain. Your heart remains. Your ability to love remains. Your wisdom remains. Your life remains. You are not losing yourself by letting go. You are returning to yourself. You are releasing the part of the past that has been taking your breath, your sleep, your hope, and your energy. You are not throwing away anything sacred. You are putting down what has become too heavy. Imagine your hand holding something tightly. At first, the grip may have been needed. You may have believed that holding on was the only way to survive. But after a long time, the hand begins to ache. The fingers become tired. The whole arm becomes tense. Opening the hand does not mean the object never mattered. It means the hand deserves relief. Your heart deserves the same relief. It has held the pain long enough. You may not be ready to open completely. That is all right. Let one finger soften. Let one question become quiet. Let one old hope be released. Let one piece of blame leave your body. Let one part of the story no longer need your full attention. Healing does not ask for everything at once. It asks for willingness. You can say, I am willing to release what hurts me. You do not have to say you are completely free. You do not have to pretend you no longer care. You do not have to make a promise that feels too large. Willingness is enough. I am willing to let the pain become lighter. I am willing to stop repeating the same old conversation. I am willing to stop waiting for the past to change. I am willing to believe that peace will not erase what mattered. The heart may resist. It may say, but this was important. You can answer, yes, it was important. And my healing is important too. It may say, but I loved deeply. You can answer, yes, I loved deeply. And I do not need to suffer forever to prove it. It may say, but what happened was unfair. You can answer, yes, it was unfair, and I still deserve a future that is not controlled by it. It may say, but I lost so much. You can answer, yes, I lost something, and I do not have to lose myself too. These answers do not deny the heart. They help it see a wider truth. Pain can make one moment feel like the whole story. It can make one ending feel like the end of everything. It can make one rejection feel like proof that love is not for you. It can make one mistake feel like proof that you cannot trust yourself. But your life is larger than one moment. Your heart is larger than one wound. Your future is larger than what did not work. You are allowed to become more than what happened to you. Letting go is not pretending the past was small. It is remembering that your life is still large. There are parts of you that have not yet had the chance to breathe because so much energy has been going toward the old pain. There is peace in you that has been waiting. There is creativity in you that has been quiet. There is love in you that wants to move in a healthier way. There is joy in you that may not be ready to return all at once, but has not disappeared. There is a future self inside you who does not carry this pain in the same way. Letting go creates room for that self. You may be afraid that becoming peaceful means becoming careless. You may believe that pain keeps you wise, but wisdom does not need constant suffering. You can remember the lesson without keeping the wound open. You can learn to notice warning signs without expecting danger everywhere. You can set boundaries without remaining angry. You can protect yourself without closing your heart to every new possibility. You can be wise and soft at the same time. Softness does not mean you forget what you learned. Softness means you no longer let the lesson become a wall around your whole life. Perhaps the pain taught you to listen to your body. Keep that wisdom. Perhaps it taught you to notice when words and actions do not match. Keep that wisdom. Perhaps it taught you not to abandon your needs. Keep that wisdom. Perhaps it taught you that love without respect is not enough. Keep that wisdom. Perhaps it taught you that your peace has value. Keep that wisdom. You do not need to keep the suffering in order to keep the lesson. I keep the wisdom and let the suffering end. Let that become a new choice. I keep the truth. I keep the strength. I keep the self-respect. I keep the deeper understanding. I release the sleepless nights. I release the endless questions. I release the need to imagine another ending. I release the belief that I must remain hurt to honor what happened. There may be grief when you let go. You may grieve not only what happened, but what you hoped would happen. You may grieve the future you imagined. You may grieve the version of yourself who believed everything would become different. Let that grief be honest. You do not need to rush from grief into gratitude. You do not need to make the loss sound beautiful. You can simply say, "This was not what I wanted." That truth is allowed. You wanted love to feel safe. You wanted your effort to matter. You wanted honesty. You wanted to be chosen. You wanted the dream to continue. You wanted a different ending. The heart can admit what it wanted and still accept what is. Acceptance does not mean you like the outcome. It means you stop fighting reality in your body every night. It means you stop making the present pay for what the past did not give you. It means you stop waiting for your life to begin only after the old story is changed. The old story may never change, but you can. You can change your relationship with it. You can move from "this destroyed me" to "this hurt me and I am healing." You can move from "I lost everything" and to "I lost something important, but I still have a life." You can move from "I cannot let go" to "I am learning to carry this differently." You can move from "I will never be the same" to "I am becoming someone more honest, more aware, and more loving toward myself." Letting go is not one dramatic moment. It may happen through many small choices. You let go when you stop checking. You let go when you stop arguing with the memory. You let go when you stop explaining yourself to the past. You let go when you stop using old pain to predict every new person. You let go when you allow yourself to enjoy a moment without feeling guilty. You let go when you choose sleep instead of another hour of replaying. You let go when you say, "I do not need to carry this tonight." Each small release matters. The heart learns through repetition. It learns that the memory can appear and you do not have to follow it. It learns that a quiet night does not need to become a place of suffering. It learns that peace can arrive without permission from the past. It learns that you are allowed to live. There may be love still present inside you. You may still care. You may still wish things had been different. Letting go does not require you to become cold. You do not have to turn love into hate in order to move forward. You can release with love. You can say, "I bless what was real. I release what could not continue." You can say, "I honor what I felt. I no longer ask the pain to stay." You can say, "I give back what does not belong in my future." This is a mature kind of release. It does not need anger to keep moving. It does not need blame every day. It does not need the past to become bad in order for the future to become good. It simply recognizes that a chapter can matter and still be complete. You are allowed to close a chapter that taught you something. You are allowed to close a chapter that still contains beautiful moments. You are allowed to close a chapter without hating everything inside it. You are allowed to stop reading the same page. Your life is still being written. There are pages ahead that pain cannot yet imagine. There are mornings where the first thought will not be the old memory. There are nights where your chest will feel lighter. There are moments when you will realize you have gone hours without returning to the wound. There are new forms of love, peace, purpose, and connection that need space to enter. You do not need to know exactly how they will come. You only need to stop telling yourself that the past is the only thing that will ever feel real. life can become real again in a new way. You can become connected to yourself again. You can become interested in your own future. You can begin to notice beauty without feeling that you are betraying what you lost. Joy is not betrayal. Peace is not betrayal. Sleep is not betrayal. Moving forward is not betrayal. Your heart is allowed to become free. You may say, I release the pain without denying what it mattered. Let the words move slowly inside you. I release the pain. I do not erase the truth. I release the pain. I keep the wisdom. I release the pain. I honor what I felt. I release the pain. I choose my life. Perhaps the heart can only release a little tonight. Let that be enough. A little less weight matters. A little more space matters. A little more kindness matters. You are not trying to become a person who never remembers. You are becoming a person who remembers without losing the present. You are becoming a person who can say, this was part of my life, but it is not the end of my life. You are becoming a person who can hold the lesson with an open hand. And as the hand opens, another question may rise. What about forgiveness? The heart may fear that forgiveness means permission. It may fear that forgiving makes the pain unimportant. It may fear that forgiveness opens the door to being hurt again. But forgiveness does not ask you to return to what broke your trust. Forgiveness asks you to stop carrying the old battle inside your body. Forgiveness is often misunderstood. You may hear the word and immediately feel resistance. Part of you may say, no. What happened was not right. Another part may say, I cannot forgive because the pain was too deep. You may believe that forgiveness means approving, forgetting, trusting again, or opening a door that needed to close. That is not what forgiveness means here. Forgiveness is freedom, not permission. It does not give permission for the past to repeat itself. It does not say the harmful choice was acceptable. It does not remove your right to have boundaries. It does not require you to return. It does not require trust. It does not require contact. It does not require you to pretend that your pain was small. Forgiveness means you are no longer willing to let the old wound control your whole inner life. It means you are tired of carrying the same argument through every new day. It means you no longer want resentment to use your body as its home. It means you choose to become free, even if the past never gives you the answer you wanted. You may have believed that holding anger was the only way to protect the truth. You may have thought that if you stopped being angry, then the pain would be forgotten. You may have felt that resentment was proof that you still respected yourself. But self-respect does not need endless resentment. You can know that what happened was wrong without repeating it in your body every night. You can protect yourself without keeping your nervous system in battle. You can remember the truth without making the past the center of your life. Forgiveness does not change what happened. It changes what happens inside you now. Perhaps you have been carrying an inner courtroom. The mind keeps returning to the same case. It presents the same evidence. It repeats the same words. It asks the same questions. It tries to prove again and again that you were hurt. You do not need to prove it anymore. You know. Your heart knows. Your body knows. The truth does not become less true when you stop arguing with it. You can close the courtroom. You can say, the pain was real. The lesson is clear. I no longer need to hold this trial every night. That is forgiveness beginning. It may not feel warm. It may not feel beautiful. It may simply feel like exhaustion with the old fight. Sometimes forgiveness begins with the honest sentence, I do not want to carry this anymore. That is enough. You do not have to say, I fully forgive. You can begin with willingness. I am willing to become free. I am willing to release one layer. I am willing to let peace become more important than the old argument. I am willing to stop feeding this pain with my energy. Willingness is a doorway. The heart may not be ready to walk through it completely, but even opening the door lets in new air. You may feel resistance when you say these words. Let the resistance speak. It may say, but this was unfair. The loving voice can answer, yes, it was unfair and you still deserve peace. It may say, but no one understood what this did to me. The loving voice can answer, I understand now. I am listening now. It may say, but there was no apology. The loving voice can answer, the missing apology hurt, but my healing will not remain locked inside another silence. It may say, if I forgive, it might happen again. The loving voice can answer, forgiveness does not remove my boundary. I can release the burden and still say no. This inner conversation matters. You are not forcing the wounded part to become spiritual, calm, or kind before it is ready. You are allowing it to express fear while your wiser voice offers safety. Forgiveness becomes possible when the heart knows it will not be sent back into danger. You can say, I will not use forgiveness to abandon myself. That is important. You do not need to accept poor treatment. You do not need to stay close to what keeps hurting you. You do not need to become available to the same pattern. You can forgive and leave. You can forgive and remain silent. You can forgive and keep distance. You can forgive and say, this no longer belongs in my life. You can forgive and still remember the lesson. A boundary is not proof that forgiveness failed. A boundary may be part of forgiveness. It may be the way you stop the wound from being repeated. It may be the way you show your heart that you have learned to protect it. Forgiveness releases the emotional chain. Boundaries protect the present. Both can exist together. You may also need to forgive life. Perhaps you feel that life itself disappointed you. You may have asked why this was allowed to happen. You may have felt forgotten, punished, or left alone. You may have wondered why your prayers were not answered in the way you hoped. These feelings are allowed. You do not need to pretend that every painful event makes sense. You do not need to call everything a gift. Some experiences simply hurt. Some endings remain difficult to understand. Some questions do not receive clear answers. Forgiveness can include releasing the demand that life explain everything before you are allowed to live again. You can say, "I do not understand all of this, but I am willing to stop fighting my life." You can say, "I release the belief that pain means I have been forgotten." You can say, "I may not know why this happened, but I can choose how I care for myself now." Spiritual peace does not come from pretending you understand every mystery. It comes from trusting that your heart can still heal without every answer. You are not required to make the past beautiful. You are only invited to stop making it your permanent home. Forgiveness may come in waves. One night, you may feel free. The next day, anger may return. This does not mean you failed. A wound can have many layers. You may forgive the event before you forgive the effect it had on your confidence. You may release one memory while another remains tender. You may feel peaceful for a time and then feel hurt again when something reminds you. Each return is another chance to choose freedom. Do not say, "I thought I already forgave." Say, "Another layer is ready." Forgiveness is not one perfect decision. It is a repeated choice not to give the past all your present energy. Sometimes the choice is very small. You notice the old thought and do not continue it. You remember the old words and decide not to argue with them. You feel anger and let it move through the body without building a new story around it. You choose rest instead of replaying. You choose your own life instead of watching what the past is doing. These are acts of forgiveness. Forgiveness is often quiet. It may not feel like love toward what hurt you. It may feel like love toward yourself. It may sound like, "I have suffered enough." It may sound like, "I choose not to drink from this pain again tonight." It may sound like, "I no longer give this memory the power to shape every new experience." It may sound like, "My heart deserves another future." This is freedom. The heart may still carry sadness, but it is no longer chained to resentment. The mind may still remember, but it is no longer required to solve the past. The body may still react sometimes, but it is learning that the danger is over. Forgiveness does not erase the wound. It stops reopening it. You may wonder what to do when the same angry thought keeps returning. Do not fight it. Notice it. Say, "This is the old pain speaking." Then ask, "What does my heart need now?" Perhaps it needs reassurance. Perhaps it needs a boundary. Perhaps it needs rest. Perhaps it needs to hear, "You were not wrong for wanting love." Perhaps it needs to hear, "You do not have to keep proving what happened." Meet the need beneath the thought. Resentment often remains because a need still feels unseen. When the need is seen, the mind does not have to repeat the story as loudly. You can say, I see that I needed honesty. I see that I needed care. I see that I needed safety. I see that I needed respect. I see that I needed to be heard. Then give yourself what you can now. You can give honesty to yourself. You can give care to yourself. You can create safer choices. You can respect your limits. You can listen to your heart. You are not powerless simply because the past did not meet your needs. You can begin meeting yourself differently now. This is part of forgiveness. You stop waiting for the old moment to become different. You stop asking the closed door to become the source of your freedom. You stop placing your healing in hands that are not holding it. Your healing returns to you. I do not forgive to excuse the past. I forgive to free my heart. Let those words become clear. I forgive to sleep. I forgive to breathe. I forgive to feel my own life again. I forgive to stop carrying what I cannot change. I forgive because my future deserves my energy. I forgive because peace is not something the past gets to decide. Forgiveness may feel impossible if you think you must do it all at once. You do not. Release one thought. Release one night. Release one layer of anger. Release the need to understand one unanswered question. Release the hope that the past will become what it never became. A small release is still freedom. You may say, for tonight I release the need to hold this so tightly. Not forever, not perfectly. For tonight, let the heart rest from the fight. Tomorrow, another layer may come. You can meet it then. But tonight, you are allowed to stop. You are allowed to let the body become quiet. You are allowed to say, the boundary remains, but the battle inside me can end. That sentence carries strength. You do not have to stay angry in order to stay protected. You do not have to keep remembering every detail in order to stay wise. You do not have to keep the pain alive in order to honor your truth. You can protect yourself with awareness. You can protect yourself with clear choices. You can protect yourself by listening to your body. You can protect yourself by walking away from what does not feel safe. You can protect yourself without carrying hate. This is a new kind of strength. It is not the strength of holding everything in. It is the strength of choosing what you will no longer carry. There may still be a part of you that wants justice. That desire is understandable. You may want the truth to be seen. You may want the effect of what happened to be understood. You may want life to show that your pain mattered. You can honor that desire without letting it become the only path to peace. Justice and inner freedom are not always delivered at the same time. You may not control what happens outside you, but you can choose not to keep punishing yourself inside. You can say, I release my heart from waiting for the apology, waiting for the explanation, waiting for the regret, waiting for the past to admit what it did. Your life does not have to remain still while you wait. You can move, You can heal. You can laugh again. You can trust yourself again. You can build a life that is no longer shaped around the wound. That does not mean the truth did not matter. It means you matter too. Forgiveness brings your energy home. The energy that was tied to the old argument begins to return. The energy that was spent watching, checking, remembering, and preparing begins to return. You may notice more space in your thoughts. You may feel more present in your body. You may begin to care about things that have nothing to do with the past. You may feel a quiet wish to create, rest, connect, or begin again. These are signs that your life force is coming back. Do not rush it. Let it return gently. You may feel strange when the pain becomes less intense. You may wonder who you are without the anger. You may even feel guilty for having a peaceful moment. Let the peace be allowed. You are not betraying your old self. You are completing what that self needed. The old self wanted safety. The old self wanted love. The old self wanted freedom. Your peace is not a betrayal of that pain. Your peace is the answer. You may say, I carry the lesson forward, but I leave the punishment behind. You may say, I bless the part of me that survived. You may say, I no longer make my heart pay for what happened. You may say, I am willing to become free. Let the willingness remain. You do not need to feel completely forgiving tonight. You only need to stop forcing yourself to remain in the same place. You can take one step away from resentment, one step away from replaying, one step toward rest, one step toward your own heart. Forgiveness is not permission. It is release. It is not approval. It is freedom. It is not returning. It is coming home to yourself. And as the old battle begins to quiet, you may notice that another kind of pain has been hiding underneath it. The pain of blaming yourself. The questions you have carried about your own choices. The harsh words you have repeated toward the version of you who did not yet know what you know now. There may be one person you have found hardest to forgive, and that person may be you. You may have released some anger toward the past, yet the mind still turns against your own heart. It asks why you stayed, why you trusted, why you waited, why you returned, why you ignored what you felt, why you did not speak sooner, why you did not leave when the first sign appeared, why you gave another chance, why you believed words that were not followed by care. These questions may sound like wisdom, but when they are asked with blame, they become another form of pain. You are looking at the Yikuai, past with knowledge you did not have then. You are judging an earlier version of yourself with the strength you have now. You are asking the heart that was frightened, lonely, hopeful, or tired to have made choices with a clear mind and perfect understanding. My dear, you did not know then what you know now. That does not mean the past did not matter. It does not mean every choice was right. It means you are human. It means you were learning. It means some truths became clear only after you lived through them. There are lessons that cannot be fully understood from a distance. Sometimes the heart must walk through a season before it can see what that season was teaching. You may have trusted because you wanted to believe in love. You may have waited because hope was still alive. You may have stayed quiet because speaking felt unsafe. You may have said yes because you were afraid of losing connection. You may have given more because you believed love meant proving your loyalty. You may have ignored your own needs because you had learned that other people's comfort mattered more. You may have returned because the familiar pain felt less frightening than the unknown future. These choices did not come from weakness. They came from needs, fears, beliefs, and old lessons that had not yet been healed. You can learn from them without hating yourself. Self-hatred does not make you wiser. It does not protect you. It does not change the past. It only keeps the old wound active inside you. Forgiveness begins when you stop using your new awareness as a weapon against the older version of you. You can say, I understand more now, not I should have known. You can say, I see what I could not see then, not I was foolish. You can say, I am ready to choose differently, not I ruin everything. The words you use matter. They become the place where the heart either feels safe or remains under attack. Imagine the earlier version of you standing before you. That version may look tired. It may look confused. It may be trying to smile while holding pain. It may still be waiting for something to improve. It may still believe that giving more love will finally bring love back. Would you stand before that version and say, you should have known better? Would you tell that tired heart, this is all your fault? Would you punish that version forever for trying to survive with the understanding it had? Or could you come closer? Could you say, I see why you made that choice? Could you say, you were trying to be loved? Could you say, you were doing what you believed would keep you safe? Could you say, you did not deserve what happened, and you do not deserve to be punished by me now? This is the voice your heart needs, not a voice that excuses everything, a voice that understands. Understanding makes change possible. When you understand why you stayed, you can heal the need that kept you there. When you understand why you ignored yourself, you can begin listening now. When you understand why you kept seeking approval, you can begin giving yourself acceptance. When you understand why you were afraid to leave, you can build safety within. Blame keeps you focused on what you did wrong. Compassion helps you see what you needed. Perhaps you needed love. Perhaps you needed to feel chosen. Perhaps you needed a sense of belonging. Perhaps you needed someone to say that you were enough. Perhaps you needed the hope that everything would change. Those needs were not shameful. The way you tried to meet them may not have protected you, but the needs themselves were human. You are allowed to forgive the part of you that wanted love. You are allowed to forgive the part of you that was afraid to be alone. You are allowed to forgive the part of you that kept hoping. You are allowed to forgive the part of you that did not know how to say no. You are allowed to forgive the part of you that was still learning its worth. Self-forgiveness does not mean you refuse to grow. It means you grow without cruelty. You take the lesson without turning it into a life sentence. You say, I will listen more closely next time. You say, I will honor what my body tells me. You say, I will not make myself small to keep a connection. You say, I will not ignore repeated pain and call it patience. You say, I can love and still have limits. These are signs of learning. The past becomes useful when it guides you, not when it keeps you trapped. Regret can be a doorway when it is met with love. It can show you what no longer feels true for you. It can reveal where a boundary is needed. It can help you understand your deeper needs. It can teach you to choose peace earlier. But regret becomes harmful when it turns into constant punishment. You do not need to replay the same mistake every night to prove you have learned. You do not need to keep hurting yourself to show that you care. The lesson is already inside you. You can release the punishment. Say gently, I forgive myself for not knowing what I know now. Let the words come near. You may not believe them fully at first. There may be a part of you that says, but I lost so much. You can answer, yes, I lost something, and I will not lose more of myself through blame. Another part may say, but I should have left sooner. You can answer, I left when I became able to see clearly enough. Another part may say, I ignored the truth. You can answer, now I am willing to hear the truth. Another part may say, I cannot trust myself. You can answer, I am rebuilding trust through the choices I make today. Self-trust does not return because you demand it. It returns through small acts of care. You trust yourself when you listen to discomfort instead of explaining it away. You trust yourself when you do not force a yes when the heart is saying no. You trust yourself when you rest before the body must beg. You trust yourself when you tell the truth, even if your VTT always shakes. You trust yourself when you stop reaching toward what leaves you feeling empty. You trust yourself when you keep one promise to your own heart. Each small act says, I am with you now. Perhaps you abandoned yourself in the past because you did not know another way. Tonight, you can return. You can say, I am sorry I did not listen. I am sorry I spoke to you with such harsh words. I am sorry I kept asking you to prove your worth. I am sorry I blamed you for being human. I am here now. An apology to yourself can be powerful. It does not need to be dramatic. It is simply the moment when the inner war begins to end. You stop standing above your own heart like a judge. You sit beside it like a friend. The heart may have been waiting for this. It may have been waiting for you to say you did the best you could with what you understood. The mind may argue with the words, the best you could. It may point to choices you wish had been different. But doing your best does not always mean making the wisest choice. Sometimes it means using the emotional strength, awareness, and support that were available at the time. You may not have had enough support. You may not have believed you deserved more. You may not have known that love could feel calm. You may not have seen the old pattern clearly. Now you do. And now you can choose again. This is growth. Growth is not proof that the old version of you was bad. It is proof that life has taught you something. You are allowed to be grateful for the lesson without being grateful for the pain. You are allowed to say, I wish it had happened differently, but I will not waste what I have learned. You are allowed to turn regret into care. Perhaps you regret the words you spoke when you were hurt. Forgive yourself and learn to speak from calm. Perhaps you regret staying silent. Forgive yourself and learn to use your voice. Perhaps you regret giving too much. Forgive yourself and learn to give without leaving yourself empty. Perhaps you regret trusting the wrong promise. Forgive yourself and learn to watch what actions reveal. Perhaps you regret the time that passed. Forgive yourself and remember that your life is still here. Time is not completely lost when wisdom is gained. You may not be able to return to the old years, but you can stop giving the present years to blame. You can decide that this moment will not be spent attacking who you were. You can let this moment become the beginning of a kinder relationship with yourself. I release the need to punish myself. Say it without force. I release the need to make myself suffer for what I did not understand. I release the belief that shame will make me better. I release the habit of using the past against myself. I am allowed to learn with love. I am allowed to begin again without shame. Beginning again does not mean pretending nothing happened. It means carrying the wisdom into a new choice. It means you no longer let the old version of you make every decision. You become more aware. You become more honest. You become more willing to honor your own limits. You become more gentle with the places that still need healing. There may still be days when self-blame returns. The mind may repeat, if only I had. When it does, do not follow the whole sentence. Answer with, I cannot change what I knew then, but I can choose with love now. That is where your power lives, not in changing yesterday, in choosing now, not in becoming a perfect person, in becoming a present person, not in never making another mistake, in refusing to abandon yourself when you do. You will still be human. You may still feel unsure. You may still take time to understand what is right for you. Self-forgiveness does not make you careless. It makes you safer because you no longer have to hide your mistakes from your own judgment. You can look honestly. You can correct what needs correction. You can grow without collapsing into shame. A heart that is constantly punished becomes afraid to move. A heart that is loved becomes willing to learn. Let your heart become willing again, willing to trust your own voice, willing to set a boundary, willing to believe that the future can be different, willing to receive good without expecting punishment, willing to love without disappearing, willing to rest without guilt. You have already suffered enough from what happened. You do not need to become another source of pain. You can become the source of understanding. Place these words gently within you. I forgive myself for the times I did not listen. I forgive myself for seeking love where I could not receive it. I forgive myself for staying longer than my heart wanted. I forgive myself for being afraid. I forgive myself for needing time. I forgive myself for the choices I made while I was hurting. I forgive myself for not being perfect. I forgive myself for being human. Let each sentence remove one little stone from the heart. You may not feel completely free at once. That is not the goal. The goal is to stop adding more stones. The goal is to end the habit of placing new blame on an old wound. The goal is to let compassion become the new way you meet yourself. Your past self does not need another punishment. That part of you needs to be brought home. You can say, "Come with me. We are not living there anymore. We know more now. We can choose more carefully. We can speak sooner. We can leave when something keeps hurting. We can trust the quiet feeling inside. We can become safe for ourselves. This is the promise you can make. Not that you will never hurt again. Not that you will never make a mistake. The promise is that you will not leave yourself alone in the pain. And when this promise begins to feel real, something opens. You no longer need the past to become the safe place you never received. You begin to build that safety within. The heart often looks outside itself for safety. It looks for someone who will stay, someone who will ill understand, someone who will speak gently, someone who will notice when something is wrong, someone who will not use tenderness against you. There is nothing wrong with wanting that kind of love. You were made for care, connection, and warmth. You are allowed to desire support. But healing begins to deepen when you stop waiting for another person to become the only safe place in your life. You begin to offer safety to yourself. This does not mean you stop needing anyone. It means you stop leaving yourself while waiting for someone else to stay. You become the voice that says, "I am here." You become the presence that notices. You become the one who listens before the pain becomes too loud. You become the one who respects the feeling in your body. You become the one who no longer asks your heart to accept what keeps hurting it. This is self-love in a real form. Self-love is not only saying kind words when life feels easy. It is how you respond when you are afraid. It is how you speak to yourself after disappointment. It is whether you stay present when loneliness rises. It is whether you listen when the body says it is tired. It is whether you protect your peace when the old pattern calls you back. Self-love is not always a warm feeling. Sometimes it is a clear no. Sometimes it is closing the door. Sometimes it is putting the phone down. Sometimes it is choosing sleep instead of waiting for a message. Sometimes it is admitting that something is no longer good for you. Sometimes it is refusing to call pain love. Every time you honor your truth, you become safer for yourself. The heart learns, I do not have to scream to be heard. It learns, my feelings matter here. It learns, I will not be forced to stay where I am shrinking. It learns, I am allowed to rest. It learns, I am not alone inside myself. That last truth can change everything. You may still have quiet nights. You may still miss what was. You may still feel the empty space left by an ending. But the emptiness feels different when you are not abandoning yourself inside it. You can sit with your own heart. You can place a hand over the chest and say, I know this feels lonely. I am staying. Do not rush to fill the silence. Let your presence become enough for this moment. The heart has spent so much time searching outside. It may need time to recognize the love coming from within. You may not feel it strongly at first. That is all right. Safety is built in small ways. It is built when you keep your word to yourself. It is built when you stop calling your needs too much. It is built when you allow yourself to feel without shame. It is built when you choose people and places where your body can soften. It is built when you stop chasing attention that always leaves you anxious. It is built when you let peace matter more than being chosen. You can ask, does this bring me closer to myself or farther away? That question may guide you. Some connections may bring you closer to your own truth. You feel calmer. You feel free to speak. You feel respected. You do not have to earn every small piece of care. Other connections may pull you farther away. You question your worth. You become afraid to express a need. You spend more time guessing than receiving. You lose your rest. You become someone you do not recognize. Your body often knows the difference before the mind admits it. Be willing to listen. Listening to yourself is not selfish. It is how you stop repeating old pain. You may have learned to ignore yourself in order to keep peace with others. But peace that requires self-abandonment is not peace. It is silence built over pain. Real peace allows your truth to exist. Real love does not demand that you disappear. Real safety does not make you afraid to be honest. Let these truths become part of your inner home. You are building that home now, not with walls of fear, with boundaries, honesty, care, and trust. Imagine the heart as a room that has been left open through many storms. The windows were never closed. The door was never guarded. Every cold word, every silence, every loss entered and remained. Tonight, you begin caring for that room. You do not lock it forever. You simply choose what is allowed to enter. You close the window against what keeps harming you. You clear what no longer belongs. You bring warmth. You bring light. You create a place where the heart does not have to stand guard all night. The room within you can become peaceful again. The night can help. The dark does not need to feel empty. It can feel like a blanket over the world. The quiet does not have to mean you have been forgotten. It can mean nothing is asking you to perform. The bed does not ask you to explain your choices. The room does not ask you to hide your feelings. The night receives you as you are. Let it support you. You do not have to fill every silent moment with thought. You can let silence become simple. The room is quiet. Your breath is moving. Your body is resting. Your heart is learning that it is not alone. I am here with myself, and I will not leave my heart alone tonight. Let those words become a promise. I will not leave when sadness comes. I will not leave when fear rises. I will not leave when the old memory appears. I will not attack myself for needing care. I will remain near. This is the presence your inner heart has been seeking. You may have spent years hoping someone would finally understand without being told. Hoping someone would notice the small changes in your face. Hoping someone would ask what you needed and stay long enough to hear the answer. It hurt when that did not happen. Let the hurt be real. But do not let it convince you that care is impossible. You can begin with the care you give yourself. You can ask, "What do I need tonight?" Maybe the answer is quiet. Maybe it is warmth. Maybe it is not checking again. Maybe it is accepting that you will not receive the answer you hoped for. Maybe it is letting you self-cry without feeling ashamed. Maybe it is allowing sleep to come before everything is solved. You can respond to that need. This is how you become trustworthy to your own heart, not by knowing everything, by listening, not by fixing every feeling, by remaining, not by promising a painless future, by promising that you will meet the future together with yourself. The heart becomes safer when it knows it will not be traded away for approval. You can say, "I will not betray my needs to be accepted. I will not silence my truth to keep someone close. I will not keep choosing what makes me lose myself. I will treat my peace as something valuable." These are loving promises. They are not made from anger. They are made from respect. You deserve to feel safe within your own choices. You deserve to know that when something repeatedly hurts, you will pay attention. You deserve to know that you are not required to remain in confusion to prove your love. You deserve to know that your tenderness will be protected. You become that protection. There is a spiritual truth in this. The love of life does not only arrive through another person. It also moves through your own awareness. It speaks through the quiet feeling that says, "This is not right for me." It speaks through the desire to rest. It speaks through the courage to begin again. It speaks through the wish to live with more truth. Life may be guiding you back to yourself, not because you are meant to be alone, because you are meant to enter every new connection without leaving your own heart behind. When you are at home within yourself, love from others becomes something you receive, not something you must chase to survive. You can enjoy closeness without losing your center. You can give love without becoming empty. You can be open without ignoring warning signs. You can be tender and wise. The empty space in your life may feel frightening now, but it may be making room. Room for peace. Room for a stronger sense of self. Room for relationships that feel honest. Room for a life that does not repeat the same pain. Do not rush to fill the space with the familiar. Familiar does not always mean safe. Sometimes the heart misses a pattern simply because it knows the pattern well. It may miss the waiting. It may miss the hope. It may miss the moments of relief that came after pain. It may call this love because the pattern was strong. Be patient with yourself. Missing something does not mean you must return to it. Feeling lonely does not mean the old door has become healthy. You can miss and still choose peace. You can care and still remain away. You can remember and still move forward. This is emotional strength. You are allowed to build a life where calm does not feel boring, where care does not need to be earned through suffering, where love does not keep you guessing, where your heart is not always waiting for the next change. Begin by creating that kin of love within. Speak clearly. Rest when you need rest. Honor what you know. Stop forcing your body to remain in places where it cannot soften. Treat yourself as someone whose peace matters. Tonight, let your heart hear this. You do not need to search outside for permission to rest. You do not need to be chosen before you choose yourself. You do not need to wait for love before you become loving toward your own life. You are safe inside my care. You may feel emotion when you say this. Perhaps the heart has waited a long time. Let it receive slowly. You are not trying to replace every missing form of love in one night. You are opening a new source. A source that remains when the room is quiet. A source that speaks when the old criticism returns. A source that reminds you of your worth when someone else does not see it. A source that says, "Come home. You are becoming your own loving home." A home where feelings are allowed. A home where boundaries are respected. A home where mistakes are met with learning. A home where rest is not shameful. A home where the past may be remembered without taking over every room. Let the heart settle there tonight. Let it know it does not have to keep standing at an old door. It can come inside. It can be warm. It can stop waiting. And when the heart feels safer, it becomes ready to receive a new message. Not the old message of fear, not the old question of why. A message that can move gently through the night and guide the mind toward peace. The final thoughts of the day can stay close to the heart. When the room becomes dark and the mind begins to slow, the usual noise becomes quieter. The thoughts you carry into this time may move more deeply. If the last message is fear, the body may stay alert. If the last message is blame, the heart may continue arguing with the past. If the last message is worry, the mind may spend the night searching for danger. Tonight, you can offer another message. You do not need to make it large. You do not need to force a belief that feels impossible. The most healing words are often simple enough for the tired heart to receive. I am safe to rest. I do not have to solve this tonight. The past is no longer happening now. My heart is allowed to become lighter. These words do not deny what remains unfinished. They remind the body that unfinished does not always mean unsafe. You may still have questions. The question does not need to be answered before sleep. You may still have responsibilities. They can wait until morning. You may still feel sadness. Sadness can rest too. The heart does not have to become perfectly peaceful before it is allowed to sleep. It can be tender and still be supported. Tonight, I release what my heart no longer needs to carry. Let this become the main message. Not, I must release everything. Not, I should be healed by morning. Only, I release what I no longer need. Perhaps the heart no longer needs to carry the same argument. Perhaps it no longer needs to carry the wish that the past will change. Perhaps it no longer needs to carry the blame. Perhaps it no longer needs to carry another person's words. Perhaps it no longer needs to carry fear into tomorrow. Let the heart decide what it is ready to put down. You do not need to name it all. The deeper part of you understands. You can say, whatever is ready to leave may leave gently. This gives the heart permission. It does not force the door. It opens it. You may feel the mind trying to return to the old story. It may ask what you should have done. It may imagine what could happen next. It may search for meaning. You can answer with one simple truth. Not tonight. Not from anger. From care. Not tonight, dear mind. You have worked enough. Not tonight, dear heart. You do not need to reopen the wound. Not tonight, dear body. You do not have to remain prepared. Tomorrow can receive what truly needs attention. The night can receive what needs rest. You are learning to separate thinking from healing. Thinking can be useful, but more thought is not always more healing. Sometimes healing happens when thought becomes quiet enough for the body to release. You may not notice how much has changed during the night. You may simply wake with a little less pressure, a little more distance from the memory, a little more kindness toward yourself. That is enough. The heart often changes in quiet ways. You do not need a dramatic feeling. You do not need to wake as a completely different person. Let small relief count. A deeper breath counts. A kinder thought counts. Not reaching back counts. Feeling less afraid counts. Sleeping with less tension counts. Tonight, offer the subconscious a new direction. Instead of, "What if I am never free?" say, "My heart knows how to return to peace." Instead of, "Why did this happen?" say, "I am allowed to heal without every answer." Instead of, "What if I am hurt again?" say, "I trust myself to listen and choose with care." Instead of, "I will always feel this way," say, "Feelings change and I am changing too." The words you carry matter because they shape what the mind searches for. If you tell the mind that nothing will change, it looks for proof of sameness. If you tell it that healing is possible, it begins noticing movement. It notices the moment when the memory feels less sharp. It notices when you respond differently. It notices the boundary you keep. It notices the peace that appears where panic used to live. Give the mind something gentle to look for. I am becoming lighter. I am learning to rest. I am returning to myself. I am opening to peace. These statements are not demands. They are invitations. They allow change to be in progress. You do not have to claim that the pain is completely gone. You can say it is becoming lighter. You do not have to say you trust everything. You can say you are learning to trust yourself. You do not have to say the past no longer affects you. You can say it no longer owns every part of you. This language feels safer. The heart can receive what feels honest. You may choose one message and let it stay near you. I am safe to rest without solving everything. Carry it softly. The problem does not need your attention through the whole night. Your love is not measured by how long you remain awake. Your care is not measured by how much you worry. Your responsibility does not require your body to stay tense. You can rest and still care. You can sleep and still be wise. You can let go for the night and return to what matters with a clearer heart. Rest is not avoidance when you have done what can be done for today. Rest is preparation. It gives the mind space. It gives the body care. It allows the heart to stop holding the whole day in one tight place. Perhaps you fear that if you stop thinking, you will lose control. But control has not given you peace. It has only kept you tired. You do not need full control to be safe in this moment. You need presence. You need the truth that you are here. You need the promise that you will meet tomorrow when it comes. You need permission to stop. The past is no longer happening now. Say it again inside. The past is no longer happening now. The memory may feel close, but it is a memory. The body may react, but you can remind it of the present. The old words may return, but they are not being spoken now. The old loss may ache, but it is not taking place again in this room. You are here. You are breathing. You are supported by the surface beneath you. You have choices now. You have awareness now. You have your own presence now. Let this present moment become stronger than the old scene. You do not have to push the scene away. You only need to stop stepping fully inside it. You can watch the thought pass. You can say, that belongs to another time. You can bring your attention back to the quiet, back to the body, back to the message of rest. This is how the mind learns a new path. Each time it returns to the memory and you gently guide it back, the new path becomes clearer, not through force, through steady kindness. The heart also needs a message about worth. Pain may have told you that you were not enough. Rejection may have told you that you were not lovable. Silence may have told you that your needs did not matter. Tonight, give the heart another truth. My worth was never decided by what could not love me well. Let that settle. Another person's limit was not a measure of your value. Another person's confusion did not make you unworthy. Another person's absence did not remove your goodness. What ended did not prove that you are impossible to love. Pain often speaks with a strong voice, but strength does not make the message true. Your worth existed before the wound. It remained during the wound. It is here now. You do not have to earn it again. You can rest as someone who is already worthy of care. You can sleep as someone who is already deserving of peace. You can release as someone whose future still matters. Let the message continue. I am worthy of love that feels safe. I am worthy of care that does not confuse me. I am worthy of honesty. I am worthy of rest. I am worthy of a new beginning. Do not turn these words into a test. You do not have to feel strong emotion. Let them enter quietly. A seed does not need to make noise to begin growing. Your new beliefs may begin as small possibilities. Maybe I am worthy. Maybe love can feel different. Maybe peace can become familiar. Maybe the past is not my final home. That small possibility is enough. The mind does not need certainty tonight. It needs a direction. Turn it toward peace. Turn it toward self-forgiveness. Turn it toward the belief that tomorrow does not have to feel exactly like today. You may say, I allow sleep to carry me toward a softer morning. You are not demanding a perfect morning, only a softer one. Perhaps you wake with more space. Perhaps your first thought is kinder. Perhaps the pain remains, but does not feel as close. Perhaps the heart begins to believe that it is moving. Let the night do its quiet work. You do not need to watch the healing happen. You do not need to remain awake to make sure it works. The body knows how to rest when it feels safe enough. Offer safety. I will not ask anything more of you tonight. I will not review every mistake. I will not force an answer. I will let you be held. These are loving words to the body. The body may have spent years hearing demands. Do more. Be stronger. Stop feeling. Move on. Tonight the message is different. You may rest. You may soften. You may release. You may receive peace in the way that feels right for you. You may notice the power of the word may. It gives freedom. The heart is not being controlled. It is being trusted. You trust that your deeper self knows what is ready to leave. You trust that you do not have to manage every part. You trust that healing can happen beyond conscious effort. There is a quiet intelligence within the body. A cut begins to close. The breath continues during sleep. The heart keeps beating without instruction. In the same way, the emotional heart has a natural movement toward healing when it receives care and time. You do not have to teach it every step. You only need to stop keeping it in the old danger. Let these words become the final atmosphere of the night. Tonight, I release what is ready to leave. I am safe to rest without solving everything. The past is no longer happening now. I forgive myself for being human. I do not need to carry every answer. I am worthy of peace. My heart knows how to become lighter. I allow sleep to support my healing. The words can move like warm air through the inner room. Nothing is forced. Nothing is rushed. The heart is simply being offered another way. And as the new message becomes quieter and deeper, the need for more teaching begins to end. There is nothing more you must understand tonight. There is nothing more you must prove. The heart has heard enough. It can rest now. The pain was real. You do not need to deny it. You do not need to make it smaller. You do not need to tell yourself that it should not have affected you. It mattered. And your healing matters too. You carried what you could. You survived in the ways you understood. You held yourself together through moments that asked more from you than anyone may have known. Now the night is asking something softer. It is asking you to stop. Not forever. Only now. Stop searching. Stop blaming. Stop returning to the old words. Stop asking the heart to explain why it still feels tender. Let tenderness be allowed. You have not failed because some pain remains. The heart releases in its own time. It opens when it feels safe. It becomes lighter when it is no longer judged. Tonight, you have given it safety. You have listened. You have allowed feelings to exist. You have learned that letting go does not erase what mattered. You have seen that forgiveness does not mean permission. You have begun to forgive the version of you who did not know what you know now. You have promised not to leave your heart alone. Let that be enough. You do not need to complete anything else. The body may still hold a little tension. Let it be there without fear. The mind may still offer a thought. Let it pass without following. The heart may still feel a small ache. Hold it with kindness. Healing does not require the complete absence of feeling. It requires a new way of meeting the feeling. You are meeting it with love now. Say gently, I have carried this long enough. You do not need anger behind the words. Let them come from tired honesty. I have carried this long enough. I have repeated this long enough. I have punished myself long enough. I have waited for the past long enough. I am ready to give my energy back to my own life. Your life is still here. It may not look the way you once imagined. It may contain an empty place. It may carry changes you did not choose. Still, it is here. There are parts of it that have not yet been lived. There are peaceful mornings you have not reached. There are quiet joys your heart cannot see yet. There are forms of love that do not ask you to suffer. There are moments when you will feel like yourself again. You do not have to reach them tonight. You only need to rest so you can continue toward them. Rest is part of returning. Let the old battle end for this night. The heart does not need to remain prepared. The danger is not in this room. The past does not have access to this moment unless you open the door through fear. You can let the door remain closed. You can say, that chapter is not entering my rest. Tomorrow you may remember again. If you do, you will meet ye, ourself again. You do not need to fear the return of a feeling. You now know that feelings can move. You know that pain does not need punishment. You know that you can remain beside yourself. This knowledge is a new kind of safety. You are not trying to forget. You are learning not to be controlled by remembering. There is a difference. The memory may remain as part of your life, but it does not need to remain the center of your life. It can move farther away. It can become quieter. It can lose the power to decide how every night ends. You are giving the night back to peace. Bless what you have learned. Not the pain itself, the wisdom. Bless the clarity. Bless the strength that helped you continue. Bless the part of you that still believes healing is possible. Bless the heart that has not given up on love, even after being hurt. Your softness is not gone. It may have been hidden under protection. Tonight, it is returning. Softness does not make you weak. It allows the heart to breathe. It allows the body to leave the old fight. It allows peace to enter without being questioned. You do not need to remain hard to stay safe. You can be soft and aware. You can be loving and clear. You can be open and still honor your boundaries. You can release and still remember what you learned. Let the hands become easy. There is nothing left to hold. Let the shoulders rest. There is nothing they must carry into sleep. Let the jaw soften. There is no argument to finish. Let the chest receive the breath. There is room now. You may say, I bless what I have learned. I release what has hurt me. I forgive myself with tenderness. I am safe inside my own love. My heart is becoming lighter. Peace is allowed to find me tonight. I rest in the care of life. Let the words become fewer. Let the spaces between them become wider. There is no need to keep teaching the heart. It has heard you. There is no need to keep checking whether the pain has left. Checking is another form of holding. Trust the small release. Trust the tired body. Trust the quiet. Perhaps only one part of the pain leaves tonight. That part is enough. Perhaps the heart loosens its hold but does not open fully. That is enough. Perhaps nothing dramatic changes but you stop fighting. That is enough. Not fighting is already rest. Not blaming is already healing. Not returning to the old story is already freedom. The night does not ask you to become whole before sleep. It accepts you while you are still healing. Let yourself be accepted. You are tired enough. You have done enough. You have understood enough. Nothing needs to be forced into place. The future will arrive in its own time. You do not need to meet it early through worry. Morning will come without your control. Let it come. The body will continue its quiet work. Let it work. The heart will release in layers. Let it release. You may wake and still feel tender. Be gentle then too. Do not measure the night by whether every feeling disappeared. Measure it by the care you gave yourself. You stayed. You listened. You did not turn your pain into an enemy. That matters. Perhaps this is how the new life begins, not through a loud change, through one night when you no longer abandon yourself, one night when you stop asking the past to return, one night when you let peace come closer, one night when you allow the heart to put down a burden. The new path may begin in this quiet way. You do not need to announce it. You do not need to prove it tomorrow. Simply continue treating yourself with the same kindness. When an old thought returns, answer softly. When the body becomes tense, reminded of the present. When regret appears, offer forgiveness. When loneliness rises, stay. These choices will become your new way. For now, there is nothing more to choose. Rest. Let the room be quiet. Let the darkness feel gentle. Let the night place distance between you and the day. You are not required to carry the same weight into tomorrow. Some of it can remain here. Some of it can leave through the breath. Some of it can lose its meaning while you sleep. You do not have to know how. The heart knows more about healing than the worried mind believes. Trust its slow movement. Trust the space opening within you. Trust that pain is not permanent simply because it has been present for a long time. Everything held can change. Everything felt can move. Every wound can be met with a new kind of love. Your own love is here now. Let it surround the tired places. Let it speak to the part that felt forgotten. You are not forgotten. Let it speak to the part that felt rejected. You are still worthy. Let it speak to the part that was afraid. You are safe with me. Let it speak to the part that blamed itself. You are forgiven. Let it speak to the heart that has been holding on. You may let go. No demand, only permission. You may let go. You may release the question. You may release the image. You may release the wish for another ending. You may release the need to carry pain as proof of love. You may keep what was true and let the suffering become quiet. Your heart can rest now. The past is not asking anything more of you. The night is not asking anything more of you. Life is not asking you to solve everything before you are held. You are held now by the quiet, by the bed beneath you, by the breath moving without effort, and by the loving awareness you have brought back to yourself. You are here. That is enough. Your heart is here. That is enough. This moment is gentle enough. That is enough. Let tomorrow remain outside the room. Let yesterday move farther away. There is only this soft space between them. A space where you do not have to be strong. A space where nothing needs to be explained. A space where your worth is not being tested. A space where the heart can stop protecting the wound and begin returning to peace. The night grows quieter. The hand within you begins to open. What has been held so tightly is no longer being forced to stay. The memory can remain in the past. The lesson can remain in your wisdom. The love can remain in your heart. The pain can leave. Rest now, my dear. Your heart does not have to hurt